Northeastern Council withdraws its draft Vision 2047 document after it erroneously referred to Manipur as a chin state of Manipur. General Officer Commanding Spear Corps Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendharkar calls on Chief Minister N. Biren, discusses law and order situation in Manipur. And unknown assailants target former MLA's residence in Imphal East District, Ketragaon, in a grenade attack last night. Hello and welcome. You are watching ISCOM Primetime English News. This is Nancy giving you the news in details. The Northeastern Council (NEC) has withdrawn its draft Vision 2047 document after it erroneously referred to Manipur as the chin state of Manipur. The mistake was identified in Chapter 3, which discussed the migration of ethnic tribes in the Northeast region, inaccurately describing the Kukis as originating from this non-existent chin state. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, upon discovering the error, communicated with Union Minister for Communications and Development of Northeastern Region, J.M. Scindia, and directed Chief Secretary Dr. Vinit Joshi to ensure corrections were made. Following the Chief Minister's intervention, the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region acted, retracting the draft of revision. Planning Advisor Som Kamai issued a statement confirming the withdrawal of the document, which had been calculated on August 9 and 17 this year. The draft is now under review to correct the inaccuracies before any further dissemination. General Officer Commanding Headquarters 3 Corps Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendharkar, accompanied by Major General Rav Roop, AGAR South, calls on Chief Minister N. Biren Singh last evening at Chief Minister's Secretariat. N. Biren Singh extended a hearty welcome to Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendharkar as he assumes charges as the new GOC. Both of them deliberated on the security situation, maintenance of law and order, war on drugs, such operations and measures to maintain peace and normalcy in the state of Manipur. They also discussed aspects related to the current security situation and measures being undertaken for maintaining peace and stability in Manipur. This is the first time that Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendharkar met Chief Minister of Manipur N. Biren Singh after he takes over the charge of General Officer Commanding of the Indian Army's largest corps from Lieutenant General H.S. Sahi on August 10. On August 16, Lieutenant General Abhijit Pendharkar also interacted with ex-servicemen and brothers in arms in Imphal and Churachandpur. He also visited Assam Rifles formation in Churachandpur in Manipur and comprehensively reviewed the internal security situation and operational preparedness. The Corps Commander complimented all ranks for their high standards of professionalism, selfless commitment, and high morale. A former MLS resident in Imphal East District, Ketragaon, was targeted in a grenade attack last night. Unidentified assailants in a car hurled the grenade at the residence of Nahakpam Indrajit, a former MLA representing the Ketragaon constituency. The incident occurred around 10:15 p.m. at Thambalkhong Sabal under Porompat police station. The blast caused damage to the residence gate, but no injuries were reported. Police, bomb disposal experts, and forensic teams were immediately dispatched to the scene. An investigation is underway to determine the motive behind the attack and identify the culprits. No group has claimed responsibility for the incident so far. The Rongmei Naga Council Manipur (RNCM) has announced an indefinite total shutdown commencing at midnight tonight. This action, led by the zonal organization Taipei Logrind Foothills of RNCM, aims to protest the state government's failure to establish alternative administration arrangement for the Naga tribes in the foothills of Sadar Hills and Churachandpur. The Thado Community International (TCI) has criticized the Thado Tribe Council (TTC) GHQ for what it describes as false and misleading accusations. In a press release dated August 14, 2024, TTC GHQ labeled TCI as a bogus entity created by non-resident Thado individuals. TCI has responded, calling these claims unfounded and asserting that the real bogus entity is TTC GHQ itself. TCI, established on August 3, 2024, is a global network of Thado people from various countries, including the USA, UK, Norway, Australia, Myanmar, India, Singapore, Macau, and Malaysia. The organization aims to defend the rights and promote the welfare of the Thado community worldwide. TCI's 2 conveners and 30 executive members work towards justice, peace, and unity for Thado people, countering the alleged misinformation spread by TTC GHQ. TCI denounces TTC GHQ's assertion of being the apex body of the Thado tribe, noting that TTC was rebranded as Thado INPI following the Thado Conclave Declaration in 2015. TCI claims the TTC GHQ's recent formation in Churachandpur is an attempt by anti-Thado factions and Kuki supremacists to create confusion within the community. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has reconstituted the All India Congress Committee AICC Law, Human Rights and RTI Department, appointing Manipur's senior Congress spokesperson and advocate at the High Court of Manipur, Ningombam Bhupender Meitei, to its executive panel. The announcement made by Party General Secretary K.C. Venugopal confirmed that Congress leader Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi will head the department as its chairman. Other key appointments include Salman Khurshid, Vivek Tankha, Harind Raval, Prashanto Sen, Devdutt Kamat, KTS Tulsi, and Vipul Maheswari as senior panel members. Venugopal further shared that 11 members from various states have been appointed to the department's executive panel, including Manipur's Ningombam Bhupender Meitei, along with Muhammad Ali Khan, Aman Panwar, Omar Hoda, Isha Bakshi, Arjun Sharma, Nishant Mandal, Amit Bandari, Taranam Chema, Lalnunlui Ralte, and Swati Drake. Security forces conducted extensive search operations and area domination in the fringe and vulnerable areas of both hill and valley districts. The operations focused on the Wangu Naudakong Maichakpi Hills in Bishnupur district yielded a substantial recovery of weapons and explosives. The security forces seized one 9mm CMG, one 9mm pistol, one country-made pistol, 2 9mm magazines, 2 HE-36 hand grenades, 1 2-inch mortar HE bomb, 1 2-inch mortar ammunitions bomb, and 30 live rounds of ammunitions. In a decisive move to combat the cultivation of illegal crops, the Wung Tangkhul region, WTR, under the government of the People's Republic of Nagalim, GPRN, has issued a strict directive prohibiting the cultivations of poppy within its jurisdiction. The directive, signed by Secretary of the GPRN Office at the Central Administrative Officer, ENO Cyrus Konghar, WTR highlights the urgency of the situation and warns of severe consequences for those who defy the order. The directive clearly states that the cultivation and plantation of poppy are strictly banned and prohibited in all village authorities concerned under Wong Tangkhul region. This declaration leaves no room for ambiguity and firmly places the responsibility of enforcement on the village authorities. The document further mandates that any individual found violating this ban must be reported to the relevant office without delay. The directive also outlines the grave repercussions for non-compliance. It further stated that any act of willful defiance will result in the imposition of heavy fines and imprisonment. In a bid to ensure swift compliance, the directive mandates that those found guilty of poppy cultivation will be required to destroy the plantations themselves under the direct supervision of Wong Tangkhul region officials. Furthermore, defaulters will bear the full cost of the enforcement measures taken against them. The Office of the Naga Women's Union Chandel, NWUC, congratulated Thumli Tiningpham Monsang on her appointment as chairperson of Manipur State Commission for Women. Thumli Tiningpham from Monsang Naga tribe of Changhe, Haibunglok village, Chandel district, achieved this prestigious and outstanding appointment through her persistent hard work, dedication and commitment towards the women community. With high acknowledgement, the NWUC wished her every success to her new responsibilities and assignments. Junior doctors in many hospitals remained off the job today, demanding swift justice for a colleague who was raped and murdered despite the end of a 24-hour strike called by the Association of Doctors. Doctors across the country have held protests, candlelight marches, and have refused to see non-emergency patients in the past week after the killing of the 31-year-old postgraduate student of chest medicine around the early hours of August 9 in Kolkata. The Indian Medical Association, whose strike ended at 6 this morning, told Prime Minister Narendra Modi that as 60% of India's doctors are women, he needed to intervene to ensure hospital staff were protected by security protocols akin to those at airports. In a letter to the Prime Minister, the IMA stated that all healthcare professionals deserve peaceful ambience, safety and security at workplace. The Kolkata Police has imposed Section 163 of Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita 2023 around RG Kar Medical College and Hospital for 7 days with effect from today to prevent unlawful gathering of 5 or more people in the area. 2 leaders of Students' Federation of India have been picked up from Behla area by police in connection with the vandalism that occurred on the intervening night of August 14th at the medical college. Meanwhile, the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, will conduct a psychological assessment of Sanjay Roy, the accused in rape and murder case of Kolkata doctor that has triggered nationwide protest. Officials said a team of psychological and behavioral analysts from the Central Forensic Science Laboratory, CFSL, in Delhi has arrived in Kolkata to conduct the necessary test. The CBI has already taken Roy into custody. Nevertheless, the former principal of RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, was questioned for several hours by the CBI for the second consecutive day yesterday. He has been summoned again at the CBI office for another round of questioning. Assam Police and law enforcement agency are doubling down on their commitment of safeguarding the public amidst the discovery of suspected bomb-like objects on Independence Day. Special Director General of Police DGP Harmeet Singh revealed that some bomb-like objects had been found, prompting immediate actions from the authorities. They addressed the potential threat. Special investigation teams, SITs, have been swiftly established under the leadership of an additional superintendent of police. These teams are tasked with conducting a thorough investigation to determine the nature of the substances and to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. Special DGP Singh said their paramount responsibility is to provide safety and security to the people of Assam. He made it clear that anyone who attempts to harm the citizens of this state will face severe consequences. Meanwhile, Assam Police have requested public support for information in their ongoing investigation into bomb-like devices planted by ULFAI. The police further announced a cash reward of 5 lakh rupees for concrete leads. The police requested for public support for information in the ongoing investigation on bomb-like devices planted by ULFAI. Credible information on persons involved in making, transporting, planting of these devices has been requested.
I said in the Assamese bite also, you know that some bomb-like substances have been found. So SITs have been formed in all the places where they have been recovered, and an additional SP is heading the SIT. The SP rank officer, a GO is the investigating officer, and the SPs, and like in Guwahati, the DCP and the CP are supervising. At the end of the day, we have to see that our main job is to provide safety and security to the people and the state.
9 persons, including a minor boy, were killed in lightning strikes in different parts of Odisha yesterday. This was informed by a statement issued by the Chief Minister's office. Expressing grief, CM Mohan Majhi announced payment of 4 lakh rupees ex gratia each to the next of the kin of the deceased. A couple died while working in their paddy field in Mayurbhanj district, Singapore village. Villagers rushed a couple to a nearby government hospital at Betonati. However, the doctors declared them brought death. A farmer was also killed in a lightning strike at Sahupara village under Agarpara police station's limits in Bhadrak district. In another incident in Bhadrak, a person from Gobindpur village was also killed in a lightning strike. In Keonjhar district, a 13-year-old boy was killed after being struck by lightning at Doru Diamba village. According to a medical officer, 2 lightning deaths were reported from Balasore and 1 each in Dhenkanal and Ganjam as well. 8 cows were also killed by lightning in Keonjhar district. Light to moderate rain continued at different places during the day. IMD said such rainfall would continue at many places in the state for 2 or 3 more days under the influence of a low-pressure area formed over Bay of Bengal a couple of days ago. In Uttar Pradesh, 10 people died and 37 were injured in an accident between a bus and a pickup in the Salampur police station area of Balunsahar district today. The injured have been admitted to the nearby hospital for treatment, while 4 seriously injured have been referred to Meerut Medical College. Akashvani correspondent reports that, taking cognizance of the accident, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed officials to provide immediate proper treatment to the injured. District Magistrate of Bulandsahar Chandra Prakash Singh said that the pickup vehicle was coming from Ghaziabad and the private bus was going towards Bulandsahar. Workers employed in a bread company in Ghaziabad were going from Ghaziabad in a pickup truck to Raipur village in Aligarh district to celebrate the festival of Raksha Bandhan. Now the sports news. Ranjan Chowdhury, head coach of India's under-20 football team, has appointed Ricky Maitai Haubab as captain and Ibindas Yesudast as vice-captain for the upcoming SAFF U20 Championship. The announcement came as the team arrived in Kathmandu on Friday, just days before their opening match. With the tournament set to kick off, Chowdhury emphasized the importance of a strong start. During the pre-tournament press conference, he said their first match will be crucial in setting the tone for the rest of the tournament. On the other hand, Captain Ricky Maitai echoed his coach's statements, saying everyone expects them to perform well again. They are fully focused on winning the tournament. Players of Kaching District Yogasana Sports Association who took part in the recently held 4th state-level Yogasana Sports Championship. The championship was held at Ibudao Marjing Polo Complex, Haingang from August 9 to 11th. The association, along with the trainees of the ongoing regular yoga training program, accorded a warm welcome to the medalists and participants of the championship, while wishing them luck for the upcoming national championships. Officials of the association who took part in the championships as chief judges and coaches were also honored by presenting simple gifts. The felicitation program held at Kaching Mayai Laikai Multipurpose Community Hall was also attended by members of the Advisory Board of Kaching District Yogasana Sports Association and key officials of Kaching District Olympic Association, Thobal District Yogasana Sports Association and Social Welfare Sporting Club, among others. Manipur entered the finals at the ongoing Junior Girls National Football Championship by defeating Delhi by 1-0 goal in the semi-final match today. The championship is being held at the Andhra Pradesh Anantapur under the aegis of All India Football Federation. Notably, the winning goal for Manipur was scored by Longzam Nira in the 79th minute of the match. Manipur will take on Jharkhand in the final match scheduled to be played on August 20. Now the headlines once again. Northeastern Council withdraws its draft Vision 2047 document after it erroneously referred to Manipur as the Chin state of Manipur. General Officer Commanding Spear Corps Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendakar calls on Chief Minister N. Biren, discusses law and order situation in Manipur. And unknown assailants target former MLS residents in Imphal East District, Ketrgao, in a grenade attack last night. Now that's all for today's bulletin. Thank you for watching ISCOM Primetime English News. Have a good night.